Welcome to the College Investor Audio Show, where we talk about the biggest issues impacting millennial money, from student loan debt to side hustles to building wealth. We will show you how to get out of debt so that you can build real wealth for the future.
Can you change your college decision after acceptance? We've gotten this question quite a bit, and today we answer it. Thanks so much for being here today. We're so glad you're here at the College Investor Audio Show. All right, so most students typically follow through with enrollment after deciding where they want to go to college, but it's not the case for everybody. Unexpected life events might disrupt all your plans, or you might just decide to take a gap year before beginning your college career. Whatever that reason, you might be wondering if you can change your college decision after accepting an offer. Even though it's frowned upon to change your decision, under certain circumstances, it actually might be necessary. If you're thinking about changing your decision, evaluate your options and work with your school to follow their process for making that change. So first of all, how can I actually change my college decision? Depending on your situation, your school may have specific procedures that you'll need to follow to defer or withdraw your decision. It's important to follow their process because it can impact your financial aid package, ability to enroll somewhere else, and it allows the school to give your vacancy to a student on the wait list. So follow these general guidelines and work with your school closely to make sure you handle your decision responsibly. First, withdraw. So withdrawing your decision after you've been accepted means you no longer intend to enroll in that school. It's important to do this as quickly as possible, like today. If your school has a wait list, they might be able to move someone up to take your place, rather. Contact admissions. You got to do this right away. Speak with someone in the admissions office directly and get the contact information of whomever you speak to in order to maintain an open line of communication with them. While an email technically works, it might get lost in their inbox. If you opt to send an email, just make sure to follow up to keep things moving along. Let admissions know what's going on. You're actually not going to be the first or the last student to change their mind, so be honest about your situation. Talk to admissions and let them know why you're withdrawing your acceptance. In some cases, like a family emergency, they might be able to offer you a better option that you might not have previously considered. Be prepared to forfeit that deposit you put down. A lot of schools require you to put down a deposit to secure your spot for enrollment in the upcoming semester. And depending on your timing of your withdrawal and your school's policies, of course, you might not actually be eligible for a refund of that deposit. This is something you might want to take into account before deciding to withdraw completely. You can defer. If you decide to defer your college acceptance rather than withdraw it, you're essentially saying you still want to attend school, you just kind of want to start at a later date. This is common and most schools have policies in place for students who wish to do this. First, inquire about your school's deferral policy. Some schools might have a formal process you have to go through to approve your deferral. Call the admissions office and figure out the steps you need to take. Submit all requested paperwork. Because you intend to enroll at a later date, the dean of your college, your academic advisor, and the financial aid office are all going to need to know what your admissions status is. Complete all required documentation and CC everyone who needs to be aware of your status. Follow up with financial aid. Speaking of financial aid offices, it's important that you work closely with someone in that financial aid office. Federal student loans are only available for a limited amount of time. If you plan to take a gap year during your first year and don't tell anybody, you may inadvertently start the clock on your loan eligibility. Make sure financial aid has all the information you need, and you get copies of it. Reasons you might change your college decision. Let's take a look at those real quick. Although most high school graduates go to college immediately following graduation, that's not the case for everybody. Life happens. You might decide that you're just not ready, would like to take an indirect route maybe, or have family obligations to attend to. These are just a few of the reasons why you might need to change your decision. Postponing to take a gap year. So a gap year is common in Europe, and it's slowly gaining traction in the United States. Thanks to recent shifts to remote learning, a lot of students are taking gap years rather than sitting in on Zoom lectures. Those are fun. All right, so colleges are now starting to take gap years more seriously. Schools like Princeton and Tufts, for example, offer bridge year programs for students interested in volunteering abroad. And depending on your school, there may be a formal process in place for you to defer your admissions decision so that you can take a gap year. Moved off the wait list somewhere else. So when you applied to college, you probably had a top school you really wanted to go to, and then a few backup schools in case you didn't get in. If you're pulled off the wait list at your dream school, you might find yourself in a position where you want to change your decision. This is common, and admissions offices expect some churn as students finalize their enrollment for the fall semester. Family or medical crisis. Life happens, and unfortunately, things don't always go to plan. You might find yourself in a situation where you get an unexpected medical diagnosis or a family member just suddenly dies. Under extenuating circumstances, it might make sense for you to change your college decision. Or it could be financial reasons, because college is, if you haven't heard, it's expensive. The decision to attend an expensive school or take on all that debt shouldn't be taken lightly. The sudden loss of income might mean you're unable to pay your tuition. Or you might get off the wait list at a different school that offers a better financial aid package. If your financial situation changes, you may need to change your acceptance decision too. All right, the question we get a lot. Can I still change my decision if I applied early? In some cases, it might be a little bit difficult to change your college decision. Early decision is a binding contract. While your school probably won't sue you if you withdraw your decision, there could be consequences for sure. For example, if the school you decide to go to instead discovers you backed out of an early decision agreement, they may withdraw their offer as well. Under extreme circumstances, on a case-by-case basis, a school may decide to release you from an early decision agreement. In some cases, they might opt to work with you to defer your start date instead. So does changing my decision affect my financial aid package? Changing your admission status could impact your financial aid offer for sure. If you defer, your financial aid package might not defer with you. Depending on your school, you could lose out on scholarships or grants that are part of your original offer. But the good news is, you will be able to reapply for financial aid, but really, just don't bank on getting the same offer twice. Evaluate how changing your decision will affect your financial aid package before you take any action. Bottom line, going to college is a massive commitment. Life happens, and you may have to change your college decision. So evaluate all your options and build a team at your school to help you. Even if you don't end up attending, they'll work with you to provide you the information you need and assist you in completing whatever paperwork needs to be submitted to formalize your decision. And that is our show for today. You can find out more about all things college and financial aid and even college loan repayment programs at thecollegeinvestor.com. We'd love to walk alongside with you and help you out. You can also follow us all over social media. Just search for The College Investor. You'll find us. Thanks again for stopping by today, and we'll talk to you again real soon.